In less than an hour from now, convicted killer David Lee Powell is scheduled to be put to death in Huntsville for the 1978 murder of an Austin police officer. Powell was convicted and sentenced to death for shooting Ralph Ablanedo with an AK-47 during a traffic stop. A series of appeals led to 2 resentencing trials. Both juries gave Powell the death penalty. KXAN Shannon Powell live in Huntsville, where members of the Ablanedo family have gathered for the execution, along with more than 100 current and former Austin police officers. Shannon.
Robert, we are told David Powell spent the morning in his cell packing his belongings and then visiting with friends as well as his attorney. Now, there are protesters and supporters of Powell's here. They have hung up his picture along with a sign that says, "Let David live," although it appears right now that barring any last-minute stay of execution, he will be executed here right inside these walls at 6 o'clock tonight. Now, a chartered bus full of current and now retired Austin police officers arrived in Huntsville this afternoon, followed by a caravan of dozens of officers on motorcycles. Police Chief Art Acevedo is also in town to show his support to the Ablanedo family. They have been waiting for this day for 32 years. Officer Ablanedo's mother, sister, brother, widow, and 2 sons will all witness the execution. But according to David Powell's attorney, none of his family will be here. Many of the officers were wearing commemorative T-shirts today. They traveled here to show their support, but also to mark the end of what they call a journey to justice.
I think it's hard on everybody when the system takes this long. I mean, appeals and all of these things are necessary, but why it would take over 3 decades is beyond me.
He never got to see his children grow up. We think that he's watching us from heaven and that he wants to see this carried out. I think it'll be a good ending for him and for the rest of us. We can finally put this to rest.
Now, David Lee Powell is the longest-serving inmate on death row. Of course, cries to spare his life have grown louder in recent days. His supporters arguing he has been a model inmate and that he no longer presents any danger to society. Now, Powell's attorneys filed a last-minute appeal today, citing prosecutorial misconduct. Still waiting to hear the Supreme Court's decision on that. We are told among his last requests, David Powell requested a meal of eggs, chicken drumsticks, and pork chops. We're live in Huntsville tonight. Shannon Wolfson, KXAN.